Hi everyone, and welcome to this Pilates class with light hand weights. Mine are about 1.5 kilograms. If you have a 1 kilogram, that will also work very well for this class. And we're going to be doing a lot of unilateral work in this class as well to make sure that we even out any imbalances in our bodies. So we're going to get started on the mat. Just put your weights to the side for a second as we warm up the shoulder joint. I just want you to extend that right arm to your ear. Make sure that the shoulders are down and back, and then lower it back down. Exhale, lift the left arm. So we're alternating each side. Just waking up the shoulders to make sure that we avoid any injury. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, connecting to the core. Gaze down towards your hands. Perfect. Take that right arm, circle it around, up and down, followed by the left arm, circle it up, around and down. And then take it in the other direction, back, up and down. So really getting into circumduction of the shoulder. Take it forward, up and around, alternating sides. Inhale for half the circle, exhale for the other half. Last one here. Lower it back down. So now I want you to take one weight in your left hand. And then I want you to extend the right leg back, creating length through that leg. Now take a peek. Are your hips level? If they're not, even them out. And then we're going to come into some swimming preps with a row. So connect to that core, bring the ribs down towards the hips, sucking in the belly button so we create that nice strong foundation. And then we're going to lift our weight and our leg, lower back down. So exhale, lift it, inhale, lower it. Make sure that you're keeping that core connection so that you stabilize. The core is working hard to stabilize here. The weight is in your right hand and your left knee equally. Make sure that you're not arching in the back. So you're trying to keep a straight spine here. You're not lifting your leg too high so that you're arching in the back and you're losing control. Keep that control. Let's go for another 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. We're going to bend that leg in, extend it out, extending that arm back. So we're getting into the triceps, bending and extending, and also working the glutes. Exhale as you extend that arm and leg. Remember to keep that balance, that core, that foundation that you have. Exhale. Gaze down towards your mat. Okay, hold it back. Little pulses up with your arm. Little exhales as you pulse up, keeping that leg in an isometric hold. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. And then we're going to take the weight behind our right knee. Coming down onto our left forearm, we're on our right hand, making sure our hips are square and level as we lift up into a donkey kick. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So don't lose that core connection. Keep that core connection. Belly button to spine. Ribs sliding down towards the hips. This is Pilates, so we work the core all the time. Okay, let's go for another 2. Starting to feel it in the glute. 1, lower it down, lift, double pulse. So we're really burning it out here, getting into that glute. Exhale as you double pulse. Keep hold of that weight. Don't lose it. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Hold it up. We're going to externally rotate that leg that femur in the hip joint. So we're rotating that foot downwards, then bringing it back to center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, back to center. We're staying up in that isometric hold, going into external rotation. So we're really working the hips, the glutes, glute med, glute min, glute max. Okay, let's go for another 3. You should be feeling this in the glute. Think of that mind to muscle connection. Let's do one more. Lower it back down. Now we're going to come into our fire hydrant. So get hold of that weight and then exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Now this can be a small movement. You don't have to lift your leg up and then open up the hips. Try and keep it square so the weight is equally pressed between your hand and your knee. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. You should be feeling this in the supporting glute as well. Let's go for another 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, press back to a shallow stretch, taking a quick release. Take that weight, and then we're going to come down onto the glutes. We're going to burn out this right glute. Okay, rolling down onto your back. I want you to extend your arms up. We're going to bend the arms. Coming into our glute bridge, we're going to add a tricep press, tricep extension. So we're going to exhale, lift up, extending the arms. Inhale, lower back down. Pressing through those heels. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Think of that mind to muscle connection. Remember, sliding the ribs down towards the hips, belly button to spine. So we're also working the core here. The obliques are stabilizing. Gaze towards the ceiling. Last 2. Last one. Hold it up here. I want you to put the weight into that right foot. And then we're going to lift the left leg off, the left foot off the mat. Make sure here that your hips are square. So if you need to take a peek, but the hips should be level at all times. We're going to lower the weights down, and then we're going to lift and extend that leg. Lower it down, lifting and extending that leg. So we're getting into the quads as we extend that leg long and getting into the chest. That weight is in that right leg, so you should be feeling a nice burn. It's working very hard. Core is working very hard to stabilize. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, soft bend in the arms. Last one. Okay, hold it here. Little pulses up. Little exhales as you pulse up. Extend that leg as long as you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Hug the knees in towards the chest. That was hard work. Okay. Feeling a nice release there. We're going to come back up into our 4-point kneeling position. Taking one weight. We're going to be taking our right hand this time. So making sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. And then we're going to extend that left leg back. Making sure the hips are square. Take a peek. Make sure they're square. And then we're going to lift, coming into our row and our glute contraction. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. The core is stabilizing here. So really focus on keeping that core stable. Drawing the belly button to spine. Ribs sliding down towards the hips. Try not to arch in the back and lose that core connection. Let's go for another 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it up. Bend that leg in. And then we're going to extend both arm and leg. Exhale as you extend. Inhale as you bring it back in. Create length through that arm and that leg as you extend. Okay, let's go for one more. Hold it back. Little pulses up with that arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Take that weight behind your left knee. Coming straight into our donkey kicks. So you're on your right forearm, your left hand. Making sure the hips are level as you lift and lower. Weight is equal between your knee, your supporting leg, and your left hand. Trying to keep everything level here. Okay, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Last two. Core connection, ribs down to hips. On our next one, double pulse. Lower. Try and get a bit higher on that second pulse. Mind to muscle connection as well is really going to help you strengthen here and feel that glute contraction. Okay, last two, last one. Hold it up, external rotation, moving that femur inside that hip joint, come back up. So you're rotating that foot downwards. Exhale as you come into external rotation. Inhale as you come back to center. Making those hips happy, making them strong. So many people are weak in the hip joint area, but we really want to strengthen those spots. Okay, let's go for another two. You should be feeling the burn. Last one. Lower it back down and then press out to the side. Coming into our fire hydrants. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Remember to try to keep those hips square, pressing into both the knee and the hand so the weight is equally distributed. Okay, last 3, 2, 1. Lower that knee back down, take the weight. You should be really feeling that in the supporting glute as well, especially since we just worked it. Okay. Lower down. Then we're coming into our glute bridges. So same as what we did last time. Extend the arms, bend them. And then we're going to lift and extend. Lower back down. So you're keeping a neutral spine here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. There's a slight tuck under of the pelvis. And your ribs are drawing down towards your hips. So really focus on that core connection. So we're working the glutes, but we're also working the core in each and every exercise that we do. As long as we make that our focus, our mind to muscle connection. Okay, last one. Hold it up. We're going to lift, put the weight into our left foot, lift that right leg. Check at the hips, square, yes. And then we move. So lower down the weight, lift and extend that leg long. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Feel that chest press. Burning out that glute here, that left glute. And extending that leg, creating long, lean legs. Keep that balance, that stability. Okay, last one. Extend it up. Little pulses up. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Release your weight. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Okay. Whew. We've done a lot of glutes already. There's more glutes to come, but now we're going to focus on some abs. Okay, so during those exercises, we mainly focused on the glute max, but later on we're going to be doing the glute med and min a bit more. So grab that weight in your right hand, and then I want you to bend that left knee in. Hover that weight off the mat, and then you're going to lift up into a crunch, extending that leg. Bring it back in, lower down. Gaze towards your thighs, so you're sliding those ribs down towards your hips, pulling that belly button in towards the spine. So you're creating that intra-abdominal pressure. Very good. Working the upper abs, the lower abs. Your head is just resting in your hand. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Okay, next one. I want you to turn your palms facing downwards. We're going to bend it in, take the arm overhead, and then lift back up, extending the leg. You're doing so well. This hasn't been the easiest class so far, but you're staying with me, and you're going to get stronger. Let's go for another 3, 2, last one, hold it there, pump the arm. Little exhales as you pump the arm, gaze towards your thighs, draw that belly button in. Okay, perfect. Lower down, take that arm overhead, glue those legs together, send that right leg a bit further away from you, and then you're going to exhale, lift up, extend the arm, and then lower back down, taking the arm overhead. So exhale, lift up, inhale, extend, exhale, roll through the spine, inhale, lower the weight. Coming into our teaser modification. If you want to, you can take that other hand overhead, then bring it up. It will make the movement easier. So if you want it harder, keep the hand behind your head. Go at your own level. Keeping the weight behind your head adds extra resistance. Okay, let's go for another 2. Create length, then roll down, articulating through the spine. 1 more. Roll up, lengthen, roll down. Arms overhead. Okay. Take the weight in the other hand now. Just lengthen your body a bit. Try and stretch out those abs before we go into the other side. Okay. Then when you're ready, bend the legs in. We're going to bring that left knee in. Back press flat to the mat. Hovering that left arm. Take the right arm behind head. The right hand behind head. And then lift up and lower. Head is just resting in the hands. And then at the leg extends. Remember to keep that weight up in line with the hip. Gaze towards the thighs. Belly button drawing in. Okay, let's go for another 3, 2, 1. Turn the palm to face downwards. We're going to lower the weight down, bring the leg in, then lift up into our crunch. Working the upper and the lower abs. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Pump that left arm. Remember, belly button drawing down towards your spine. Little pumps here. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Take that arm overhead. Glue those thighs together. Take that left foot a bit further. And then you're going to lift up, coming into your teaser modification, lowering back down. Remember to take that hand overhead if you want to make it easier. Follow your breath. Exhale, roll up. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, roll down. Inhale. Perfect. Let's go for another 3. Rolling through the spine, articulating through the spine. Last 2. Last 1. Lift up and lengthen and then roll back down. Vertebra by vertebra. Release the legs, release the arms. Just lower your knees side to side, releasing the abs. And then we get to come into some more glute work, getting into the glute med and glute min. So come up onto your side, onto your right hand side. Take that weight behind your left knee. And I want you to rest down. You can rest your head in your hands, or you can rest down all the way, whatever is more comfortable for you. Really grab that weight. We're going to come into some clams. So make sure the hips are level. You're pushing that top hip away a little bit, so you've got a gap between your waist and the mat. And then we're going to exhale, lift, inhale, lower. So we're only going up with our own range of movement. We're not opening up the hip and then you're opening up the leg and opening up the hip. We're keeping the hips square as we lift that knee, coming into external rotation and lower it back down. Stay with me. You're going to feel the burn very soon. Okay, on our next one, we're going to lift the foot with the knee. So exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Remember that gap between your waist and the mat. Keep that gap there. Don't lose it as you lift the leg. So we're keeping that core connection the whole time. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Okay, you should start to feel a burn now. Let's do one more. Lift up. And then we're going to bring it forward. Extend it back. If you need to bring your hand to the mat, you can do that for more support. When you extend it back, think of that glute contraction, but I also want you to make sure that you're not arching in the back. So you're not sending that leg back and opening up the ribs, arching through the back. You're keeping that core connection as you take that leg back into hip extension. Exhale to take it back. Inhale to take it forward. Last 2. Let's do one more. Perfect. Lower it down. Take that weight in your left hand. Come onto your right forearm. Make sure the feet are in line with the hips. These are bent, stacked. Hips are stacked. We're going to lift up, open the knees, lifting the weight up, and then lower back down. So we're coming into our side plank, lifting the hips up. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Working the obliques, that side booty on the right hand side. If you need to, you can fold up your mat for extra cushioning. Make sure that the head is in line with the rest of the spine. And we're not staying down here long. We're just tapping our hip and lifting back up. Let's go for 2. Last one. Hold it up. You can extend that top leg, and then we're just going to rotate underneath. Lifting back up. Exhale as you rotate underneath. Inhale as you lift back up. Coming into some nice rotation. Staying strong here. Keeping those hips up, pushing out of that shoulder. Strong, stabilized. You should be feeling it in that right side booty, in the obliques. Hold it up. Hold that leg up. Little dips, hip dips. Exhale as you lift back up. You should be feeling the burn. I know I am. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it back down. And take the mat. Take the right arm up and over. Releasing the obliques, the glute med and glute min. Okay. Release that, and then we're going to go into the other side. So coming down onto your left-hand side this time, you can rest down on your arm. Take the weight in your right, behind your right knee, bending in the leg. Okay, make sure you've got a good grip on that weight. So we're really contracting the hamstrings. Keep the feet together. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. You might find that you have more mobility on the one side than the other side. This side I don't have as much mobility, but make sure that you are still keeping those hips squared. You still will work it the same. And that's the good thing with unilateral work, is that you sort out those muscle imbalances. Make sure there's a gap between your mat and the waist. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And you'll definitely feel it more in the side because we literally just work the side. So it's going to burn more. Last one here. Then lift both foot and knee. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep hold of that weight. It's hard. It's getting very hard now. Core connection. Last 3, 2, 1. Hold it up, shift it forward, then shift it back. So your knee is in line with the hip. Remember, no arching in the back as you take your leg back. So if you need to feel that your back is arching, you can do that. Feeling a nice contraction in the glute max as you take that leg back. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, take it forward. Last 3. Whew. My leg is shaking. Last 2. Last 1. Bring it in. Take the weight in your right hand. You know what's next. Okay. Make sure the hips are level, pushing up out of that shoulder, out of that side waist. Feet are in line with the hips, and then we're going to lift up, extend that arm, open that knee. Lower back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Coming into our side plank, really lifting up those hips. So we're getting into those obliques, contracting them. We're working ipsilateral obliques, same side obliques, internal, external. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Think of that control as you lift and as you lower. Okay, let's go for another 3. Really going to burn it out here. 2, 1. Hold it up, extend that top leg, coming into our rotations. And then extend. Exhale, rotate underneath you. Inhale, extend. Keep that hip up, that leg still, in line with the hip. If you need to check, you can check. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up, little dips. Burning it out here. My glutes are shaking. Stay with me. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Yeah, that was a burner. Take the left arm over. Just calming down the breath. And then we're going to put the weights aside for the rest of the class. We don't need them anymore. The torture is almost over. We're going to come down into a prone position. So we're going to be on our tummies. I want you to make sure that your hands are by your shoulders so that you see a W shape from above. You're going to bring that head down to the mat. coming into our breaststroke prep. So make sure your legs are slightly abducted, about hip distance apart. And then you're going to inhale, lift up, coming into back extension. So we're working the back extensors here. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So make sure that you're not hyperextending the neck. You're not looking up. You're looking straight to the front edge of your mat. Really think of lifting with those back muscles coming into extension. Let's go for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold up here. I want you to extend the arms forward, and then we're going to inhale, circle them around, lifting up further into extension. Exhale, take them forward, diving down. Inhale, lift up, coming up for air. This is our breaststroke. So really think that you're swimming underwater here. Getting into those back extensors. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Extend the arms forward, take them down, press back to a shell stretch. Taking a nice big deep breath. We are done for today's class. We're just going to come into a stretch. So come into the middle of your mat now. Let's stretch out the glutes because we worked them really hard today. Okay, extend the legs, flexing the feet. Lift up through the spine, creating length. And then we're going to shift forward, flexing over our legs. Grab hold of the toes if you can. Feeling a nice stretch in the back and in the hamstrings. Just calming down our nervous system after today's class. Okay. I want you to take that right leg over the left, and then we're going to bring that left knee in. I want you to extend the spine, feeling a nice stretch in the right glute. Okay, we're going to release that. Take that left foot over the right and bring that right knee in. Feeling a nice stretch on that left glute. Lengthening through the spine, opening up the chest. A nice stretch. The further you bring your knee in, the more of a stretch you'll feel. This is quite intense. So release here and then come to seated in the middle of your mat. You're going to take that right arm up and over, coming into lateral flexion. And then the left arm up and over. Take the hands behind your back, opening up the chest. Feeling nice extension in the spine. Flex it forward, taking the hands forward, rounding the back, scooping the abs in. Come back up. Roll out the shoulders backwards and then forwards. And then that's it for today's class, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed this one with light hand weights. And if you have, please like this video. Tell me in the comments if you would like to see more videos like this. Subscribe down below, as it really, really supports my channel and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.